Greetings, dear yogis. Welcome back. Welcome to another yoga practice. Elizabeth Scala here from Living Sublimely Well, and I will be your facilitator today. Today I plan to primarily be on our mat, seated, knees lying down. So you won't need a chair, you won't need a blanket, unless you want one or think it might support you in some way. And I definitely would be using the strap as we will be lying on our backs with the strap. And I always recommend having a yoga block or something similar handy, especially as we begin in our easeful seated posture. I wouldn't say easy because for some people it's difficult to sit cross-legged, and that's perfectly okay. If you're under the care of any medical providers, honor any restrictions that might be placed upon you physically. First and foremost, honor you, your physical body, your mental mind, your emotional spirit. If at any point in any posture you feel sharp, shooting, fiery pain, back out of it. Sit quietly, lay quietly, and join us in the next pose. Yoga practice is for you. It's to facilitate your healing at a body, mind, spirit level. And so we never want any of the poses to be hurtful. Some slight or light tension is normal. That is the stretching, that is the pose, that is the practice. So listen to your body. You will know what's best for you. And finally, yoga. It is an opportunity to be in the moment, in the now, in the present. Each time we come to our mat or we come to a chair or we come to standing, wherever we are practicing yoga, it's a new opportunity. It's a chance to be curious, to live through the beginner's mind, to explore. My yoga teacher, when I went through yoga teacher training, said, we don't use the body to get into the postures. We use the postures or the poses to get into, and I will add, to feel the physical body. So with each posture, with each pose, I encourage you to breathe into the physical body and be with the moment and explore the edge of the stretch. Okay, so enough chitter chatter. I hope you have found your spot where you will practice. I encourage you to take a block and put it beneath your sits bones. And by that, I'll show you. I just mean the edge of your seat. So right where you're about to sit your bum, those are the sits bones, okay? So taking your seat on the block, sits bones to block, letting legs open, knees flopped outwards, downwards. We never want our knees all the way up. If we're real tight, and this is how we're sitting, a block helps us to open up. So sit on your block in a cross-legged seat of your choosing, long and tall. The sits bones ground into the block, the mat, the surface beneath you. The crown of the head lifts and pulls towards the sky. Drop those shoulders, slide them down the back, and gently close the eyes if that's available to you, or take a soft gaze to the edge of the mat. You have arrived. You are here now in this moment. Turn the attention to your breathing. Notice the breath in and out of the nose if that's accessible for you. At your own pace, own rhythm, not trying to change anything or get anywhere. Just notice, just follow the breath in and out of the nose. And let's take a breathing practice today called the 4 square breath. So I'll cue us through several rounds, and then I'll trail off into silence to let you practice on your own. So we're going to inhale through the nose to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath if you're able for 2, 3, 4. Now slowly exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Pause here for 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 4. Exhale. 2, 4. Pause. 2, 4. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Pause. Continue at your own pace for the 4 square breath. Lovely. Let the breath settle, releasing the 4 square breath and just breathing at your own pace. Making note of any observations. You can keep your eyes closed if that's your choosing, or blinking them open, up to you. Let's inhale the shoulders up towards the ears and slide them down the back. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears, slide them down the back. Inhaling the shoulders up, exhaling them down. Inhaling them up, exhaling down. Let's go the opposite direction. Inhaling up and forwards, exhaling down. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Great. You can keep the eyes closed if you choose, or open. Still your choice. Inhaling, turn to the right. Exhaling to center. Inhaling to left. Exhaling center. Inhaling, gaze over the right shoulder. Exhaling, neutral. Inhaling, gazing over that left shoulder. Exhaling to neutral. One more time, each direction. Last one. Beautiful. If you are on a block, remove that. If your eyes are closed, blink those open. Let's move into our Sufi grind. So we're going to move the shoulders down, dipping down, out to the side, round the back, shoulders backwards, other side. Dipping down, flexing and arching the spine in all directions. Making big, deep circles, opening the hips, warming the back, loosening the shoulders. Lovely, yogis. You are doing great. And perhaps linking the breath, inhaling forwards, exhaling back. Inhaling, moving forwards, exhaling back. Let's go the opposite direction now. Really making big motions in all directions, loosening, awakening, opening, joyfully flowing with the breath. Wonderful. Let's bring this to stillness. And let's move around to hands and knees, what's called tabletop posture. So, swinging the feet around, you're going to come for your knees hip width distance apart. Now, if you're on a hard surface or this is difficult for your knees, go ahead and roll up your yoga mat 1 or 2 times here. Or you can use a blanket underneath your knees. So go ahead and get yourself situated. Knees are hip width distance apart. The tops of the feet are touching the mat. Our arms come down. The elbows are under the shoulders. The wrists are under the elbows. The fingers are spread wide on the mat. Inhaling, send the gaze upwards, lifting the tail, dropping the belly. Exhaling, round the back, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhaling, drop the shoulders, lift the head and tail. Exhaling, around the back, tucking the chin to the chest, belly button to spine. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling to cat. So flowing through cat-cow with your breath, seeing if you can choose not to move until the breath moves you. Inhaling when you lift up. Exhaling when you round. Following the pace of your breath. You may be going slower or faster than I. You may be going the same speed. The goal here is to link the movement with the breath. One more time in each direction. Beautiful job, yogis. Coming to stillness at a neutral spine, flat back, called tabletop. So we're going to inhale one leg up, pressing the heel, and then exhale it back down. Inhaling the other leg up, pressing the heel behind us. Engage the leg. Exhaling down. One more time each side before we add the arms. So you can stay right here with only legs, or you can add the opposite arm. So inhaling opposite arm, opposite leg, flexing that heel. Exhaling down. Inhaling opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhaling down. Inhaling opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhaling down. Your gaze is to your mat. Your fingers spread long. Your heel is flexed. There's a line of energy from the tips of the fingers to that end of the heel. We're going to do one more time each side, but this time when we get there, hold. So you can breathe, obviously, but we're going to hold this posture for a couple of breaths. So make sure that heel is flexed, that leg is engaged. You're looking down towards the mat, neutral spine, a line of energy from the fingertips all the way to the heel. Continue to breathe. Be sure not to hold the breath. Lovely. Let's drop that side. And final time holding this side. Again, gazing downwards to the mat, a line of energy from those fingertips all the way to the heel. Continuing, breathe in and out of the nose. Excellent. Let's spread our knees, mat width distance apart. Take the big toes touching behind you, sending the heels back towards the hips. Now, if this is painful for you, have a lot of pressure, you can slide a blanket here between the thighs and the calves. Slide a blanket here. Otherwise, sending those hips to the heels. Arms are going to spread over wide with the fingers wide, pressing the palms into the mat. Your forehead comes to the mat or to your block if you can't reach the mat, or even to stacking your fists. Okay, but the forehead comes to something. Deep belly breaths here, breathing all into the back side of the body. Let's inhale back up to tabletop. Now this time, so knees are hip width distance apart. Take one hand, the left hand, and place it under the face, directly under the face. Lift the right arm into the air behind you as if twisting up. And then slide that right arm through the hole that's created by the left. And allow the outside of the right shoulder to rest on the mat. Experiencing a stretch across the back, across the shoulders. Breathing deeply in this thread the needle pose. Wonderful. Inhaling that arm back up to the sky. Exhale, bring it down to the mat. Switch sides. So bring the right hand to just below the face, right beneath the face, so in the middle of the mat. Lift the left arm in the air, looking up at the left hand, and then thread the left arm through that hole created by the right and allow the outside of the left shoulder, if you can, to rest towards the mat. Experiencing a stretch across the back, opening the shoulders, breathing into where you feel the sensations. Inhaling to lift back up. Now coming back to tabletop. And from here, if you have your blocks handy, bring your blocks to either side of the mat. Let's go ahead, and our hands are in tabletop. Slide one foot in between the hands. Okay? And so we're going to move through our low lunge half split sequence. In this posture, you want the knee right over the ankle. Do not let the knee go past the toes, as that'll cause pressure for the knee. So this back foot is on the mat. This back knee is resting on the mat. Lifting up, taking our hands to our hips, squaring our hips to the front of the mat, pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward if this is your right leg up. All right, so this is called low lunge. Slide the shoulders down the back, release the shoulders. And now send your hips back, lift those front toes. This is where you can grab your blocks. And this front leg is straightened, but watch the knee. Don't lock the knee out. So if a slight bend is here, that's good. The toes are lifted, and we're bending forwards with the chest, attempting to get nose towards knee. And again, you can use your blocks here for support. And this is called half split. Let me just move the block out of the way. Okay, so we're going to move through this posture with the breath. Dynamically move back and forth. So inhale, take the hands to the hips, lift the chest, drop the shoulders, lifting up, gazing up to the corner of the ceiling where the ceiling meets the wall. And then exhaling, lift the toes, send the hips back, drop the nose towards the knee. Inhaling, drop the shoulders, lift the chest, hands come to the hips, coming up. Exhaling, lift the toes, straighten the leg, chest comes towards the thigh. Inhaling, drop the front toes, lift up, drop the shoulders, lift the chest. Exhaling, drop the chest down, nose towards knee, lift those front toes. One more time on this side, inhaling to lift, exhaling back. Lovely. So this time, we're going to move to the posture and hold it just for a couple breaths. Breathing in and out of the nose in our low lunge. Release the shoulders down the back. You're doing great, yogis. Excellent. Send the hips back, lift those front toes. And now holding this posture for a couple breaths. Lovely. Let's take the front foot and release it back to the mat. Knee comes to the mat. So both feet are on tops of the feet touching the mat. And now other leg will come up, sliding between those hands. So first ensuring that you have a good foot placement if you need to scooch it up or bring it back. But we're looking for knee over ankle when we are in our low lunge. Exhale, sending the hips back, lifting those front toes, sending the chest towards the thigh. Inhaling, drop the front toes, lift up, drop the shoulders, lift the chest, looking up. Exhaling, send the hips back, lift those front toes. Let the chest drape over the thigh. Inhaling, hands come to the hips, drop the shoulders, lift the chest. Gaze is upwards in your low lunge. Exhaling, sending the hips back, letting the chest drape towards the thigh. Inhaling to low lunge. Exhaling to half split. Inhaling to low lunge. Exhaling to half split. All right, this time we're going to hold the posture for a couple of breaths. Coming to low lunge, hands are on your hips. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Drop those shoulders down the back. Lift the chest. Gaze upwards. And now send the hips back. Drop the chest towards the thigh. Lift those front toes, attempting to get the nose towards the knee. Several breaths here in your half split. All right, release that front foot. Bring it onto the mat. Let the knees open, mat width distance apart. Let the heels come towards the hips. Yeah, the heels. Oh, the hips to the heels. Oh my goodness. Arms are stretched out over wide. Forehead comes to the block. Stacking fists or your mat. Child's pose. With an inhale, lifting ourselves back up. If your mat is rolled, you can go ahead and unroll your mat. We're going to swing the legs around. And let's have our legs long in front of us. Have a bend in the knee. Take the hands behind the thighs. This is fun. We're going to do some rocking and rolling. And we're going to start rocking on the sits bones. And then rocking to the lower back. Rocking to the middle. Rocking all the way to the shoulders. Just rocking back and forth. Massaging that spine up and down. All the vertebrae are massaged. Wonderful. I could play like this for a long time, but for the sake of the practice, with your next rock and roll, we are going to find ourselves all the way down on the back of our body, lying down. And make sure you have your strap handy. If you need a minute to get a strap, a belt, a tie, something you can use in the format of a strap. So the legs are long. Let's bend the left knee, bringing the left sole of the foot to the mat. And take the strap around the instep of the left foot, so around the sole of the left foot. Make sure your hands are towards all the way the end of your strap, because if possible, I'd like the back of your arms, the triceps, to rest on the mat. I don't want your arms reaching up in the air. So rest the triceps on the mat, the back of the arms. Your hands are on the edge of your strap. And then walk your hands down the strap, pulling the foot towards your face. You can have a slight bend in your knee. That's absolutely okay. And just go ahead and explore the edge of your stretch. Where do you feel sensation? Breathe into those feelings. Breathe into the stretch. And with each exhale, seeing if you can let go, stretching a little bit further. Explore that edge. All right, taking the strap into the left hand and allowing that left foot to flop out towards the left, so opening the leg. Make sure the right hip does not pop off the mat. You can even take the right hand and place it on the right hip. But letting that left foot flop open and just breathing into where you feel the sensation, exploring the edge of the stretch, noticing the physical body in this moment. Go ahead and bring the left foot back up to center and take the strap in the right hand, letting the left foot flop towards the right. So now the leg is crossing the body. Same deal. Notice the body. Feel the sensations and breathe into where you feel the stretch. Inhale that leg back to center. You can bend the knee, releasing the strap for now. We'll use it in a moment on the other side. Take your hands to your shins and just making circles with the knee in one direction. And then taking those circles in the opposite direction. Coming to stillness, go ahead and scooch onto your right hip, or the hip of the leg that's extended long, if you're not doing the same side. But scooch onto the hip of the leg that's extended long, and then let the bent leg cross the body into a twist. Make sure you keep the left shoulder, or the shoulder of this twisting leg, down, pinned to the mat. Your arms can open up into a T, and you can look upwards towards the ceiling, or you can gaze to the side opposite of this bent leg. You can take the hand that's near this bent leg, if you like, and place it on the outside of this bent thigh, just encouraging the stretch a little bit deeper. Keep breathing, sending the breath to the physical body. Lovely. Inhaling that bent leg back up to center. Squaring your hips, so coming back to the full back side of the body and letting that leg drop long to meet the other. We'll take the other side. So let's bend the right knee, the right sole of the foot comes to the mat, and then take your strap around the instep of that right foot, that right sole of the foot. Remember, take your hands to the edge of the strap so your arms can rest on the mat. And then when you're ready from there, walking your hands up the strap, pulling that foot towards the face. Stretching the leg. Seeing with each exhale if you can stretch just a little bit deeper. Breathing into the physical body. Wonderful. Take the strap in the right hand. Let the right foot flop out towards the right. Careful that that left hip does not pop off the mat. You could even take the left hand to the hip just to ensure that. Breathing here. Exploring the edge of your stretch, the depth, the letting go. Inhaling the leg back up through the middle. Taking the strap into the left hand, letting the right foot flop towards the left. The left leg is crossing the body. Inhaling the leg back up to middle. Bending the knee, releasing the strap, letting that flop over. Taking the knee and making circles in one direction. And going in the opposite direction. Coming to stillness and scooching onto your left hip, the hip of the leg that is lengthened long. Then let the right knee flop towards the left, opening the arms in a T, gazing upwards or gazing away from the leg. You can take that left hand if you like, placing it on the outside of the right thigh if you'd like to explore deepening the stretch further. Make sure that right shoulder does not pop off of the mat though. If it's popping off the mat, you've gone too far. Keep breathing, sending breath to body. Inhaling the leg back up to the middle, lifting the hips, squaring the hips back to the center of the mat, letting that right leg drop long. Let the feet windshield wiper back side to side, left to right. Let's bend both knees and hug the knees towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs, rocking gently from side to side. massaging the spine. All right, let's lift the feet upwards towards the air. Let's take the hands near the ears and curl up using the abs, using the core, crunching up. So lifting the shoulders and chest off the mat and down. Lifting the shoulders, chest, and down. Crunching up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. And down. 2 more times. The last one. Wonderful. Release the hands. Point and flex the toes. Making some circles at the ankles in one direction. Taking those circles and the ankles in the opposite direction. Scissor kicking the legs open wide, crossing one foot in front of the other. And then flutter kicking front and back. Again, point and flex the toes. Now bend the knees out towards the shoulders. Take the hands to the insole of the feet and just gently rock from side to side, letting the corners of the mouth turn upwards, smiling gently as if a happy baby. Beautiful yogis, release the hands. Let the feet slowly come to the mat. And then let the feet extend long, straighten the legs. Let the corners, pinky toes, flop towards the corners of the mat. Lift the hips and tuck the tailbone. Lift the chest and tuck the shoulders, slide the shoulders down the back. Open the arms away a little bit from the body with the palms faced up. Resting the eyes into our final posture, corpse pose. Notice the back side of the body making contact with the mat. The heels, calves, thighs, glutes, lower back, middle back, and upper back. The shoulders, the backs of the hands, the backs of the arms, the back of the head. Scan the body once more for any tension. Releasing any tension. So if the chest is tight, let go. If the shoulders are lifted, let go. Release the jaw. Release the temples. Release any tension from the face, the forehead. All of the tension melting out of the body onto the mat. All of the tension released from the body, letting go to the mat. Continuing here in stillness for the next several moments. You can stay right here as long as you need. Or perhaps beginning to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, just bringing gentle movements, small movements back into the physical body, waking up the body at your pace. When you're ready, bending the knees, rolling over to the right side, cradling the head in the right arm, lying on the right side, allowing the practice to integrate body, mind, and spirit. You can stay right here as long as you need. When you're ready, using the hands to press yourself up, returning to a seated posture as we started the class today. Keeping the eyes closed for just another moment. Reciting these words quietly to yourself. May I choose lightheartedness. May I feel healthy. May I experience peace. May I let go, living free from unnecessary suffering. May I choose lightheartedness. May I feel healthy. May I experience peace. May I let go, living free from unnecessary suffering. Let's drop the hands to the outsides of our thighs. And with our inhale, turning the palms up, lifting the arms wide, inhaling the hands overhead. The palms come together, exhaling the hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. It was a joy, a pure pleasure. Thank you for practicing yoga with me in this way. Namaste, yogis. Alrighty, friends. Well, that's the end of our practice here today. And just a couple of comments. If you've enjoyed the practice, please leave a comment below or give a thumbs up. If you have questions, those are welcome as well. So share any feedback in those comments. I am welcoming private yoga clients, either virtual or in person. So virtual would be via Zoom, so I can see you and you can see me, and we can tailor yoga practice specific to your needs. Or if you're in my area, we can do that here at the Living Sublimely Well Yoga Studio. So that's available to you. And if another alternative, if you live in the Hereford Zone, northern Baltimore County in the state of Maryland in the USA, and would like to come to the Living Sublimely Well studio for a group class, a small, intimate, at most 5 people class, that's also available to you. So I will share a link on how to do that. You can visit my website, elizabethscala.com/yoga. And I would love to practice yoga with you, either individually or in a small group setting. Until next practice, friends, We will see you. Be well. Thank you all.